What up? This is your host Rob back with another episode of She Said, He Said. This is actually a part 2. I have a very, very special guest with me once again, Vixen. Hello.
Hello.
So
I'm all warmed up now. God damn it. Everything I say.
Well, if y'all didn't watch part 1, watch part 1 where we talk about social media downfalls. Just things that social media can cause and social media boundaries you should probably try to keep when you're in a relationship. So we're going to continue on to a new topic, and me and Vixen had so much fun together. I'm like, yo, we need to do another show. So this topic is it's
home.
Yeah, I'm gonna be judged after this. Y'all don't cost me my sponsors, even though I ain't got none yet. But this one is about, well, you introduce the topic. I'm just so sensitive.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about dating within groups of friends. So dating a girl and then dating her friend, dating a guy and then dating his friend after, or just kind of being in like a co-ed group and dating and like recycling friends within that group. What happens to the group? Is it a good decision? Is it something that we should avoid?
Ladies first, or you want me to go first? You went first.
No, you go first. Yeah, I went first last time. Fair's fair.
Shit. Okay. Here's how I feel about it wholeheartedly. I'm gonna give a sort of an introductory statement. You never know who your one true love is, and you never know what could happen until you try. I'm gonna start with that. That's not an excuse. That is just something I truly believe in. Number 2, I think it all depends on. I think it all really, to me, it depends on the level of the friendship. Like, for example, if you're the friend you're like coming to Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner, like when I'm out of town, you still come by and speak to my mom, then that's very, very different. Like if I wouldn't date, like your ex-girl or something like that. That's different because we have an extremely tight bond. But if it's like I talk to you once every 3 months, when I see you we speak, I might hit you up on Facebook type stuff, that's not I don't think I'm that connected to you. So it's like, yo, I'm gonna take that shot. But I will say this, I'll let you know first. I won't let you find out through the grapevine or anything like that. But that's just me. I had a friend once. It was me, actually.
Let's be real.
I dated someone, long-term relationship. It ended, and we had a lot of mutual friends. A lot. We hung out. It was a lot of mutual friends. Our relationship ended terribly. It was basically, once it ended, the friendship ended, communication ended. So this person was no longer a friend. Like I was done.
Around all the time.
You said what?
But still around all the time.
Nah, they weren't.
Okay.
They weren't. They were out of my life and out of my picture. I would say 3 years later, one of our mutual friends was someone I started talking to. We explored the possibility, and it didn't go anywhere at the time, but the other friend, my ex, got truly, truly, truly upset. And I know people are judging me around like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. They got truly, truly upset. But I'm like, number one, I get stereotype-wise and society-wise why you're upset, but truly, why are you upset? You and me had no chance of ever getting back together. I hadn't talked to you in 2 or 3 years. I don't follow you on I'm not on your Facebook friends list. I don't text you. There's absolutely no communication. I'm pretty much dead to you. So me moving on with the next person, granted that was your friend, but that wasn't your everyday talk to. Like the friend I described, you going to my mom's house even when I'm not there. It wasn't even that type of friendship. but you were upset to your core. And I get why, because you messed up. You messed up. And you knew what type of dude I was, so you knew what that person was getting. So honestly, I feel like it was more jealousy than you felt like somebody was doing you wrong because you messed up and you knew that there's no chance to come back. But yeah, I mean, I didn't care because the funny thing was, one of my close friends who's now married told me, he was like, man, people look at situations like that and they want to judge you and stuff like that. But he was like, man, that other relationship was old, is dead, is gone. He was like, if you find something new, then try something new. You can't let someone else and their feelings stand in the way of your happiness, especially if they're not a part of your life. So I felt him on that, which is why I took that step forward. But like I said, it didn't turn out to be anything after that. And I'm still cool with the person to this day. We're really still cool. But I could understand in certain situations how that could be a very bad thing. So that's what I mean when I said it depends on the circumstances surrounding the situation, man. It can't just be, you know what I mean, like my last relationship ended pretty cordially. There was no beef. There was nobody cheating on nobody. It was just we grew apart and she broke up with me. I would not date one of her friends because we're still cool. We still talk. We still see each other. And it would be weird almost. So yeah, that's my deep dark confession. I'm gonna take a drink right now. Yeah.
Okay. First of all,
let's hear your filth.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, you are like the nicest person in the entire world, and none of that was wrong to me at all. The fact that there was so much time in between those two relationships means that you weren't making an inappropriate choice, and you didn't do anybody wrong, especially because it's not like you saw this person every day, every other day, even every other week while you guys were apart. After you broke up, it was like a clean break, didn't see or hear from her at all. Okay, you decided to date her friend. There is nothing wrong with that, especially when you were the one that was wronged in the first place by her. So in this particular situation, I feel like that's life. Like that's just how it goes, and nobody should be judging you for that situation at all.
Oh, these comments are gonna blow up, but go ahead.
Okay, so let's though talk about the situation that I've experienced. Okay, it's a little bit of a more dramatic situation.
I can't wait.
It doesn't really have to do with me personally. The situation that I was going to share was like from high school, which isn't really a big deal, and the situation from recent includes other people, but I feel like it's more relevant to kind of our ages and where we are in life. So with that being said, I have two girlfriends. They're both lawyers. They live together. They roll in the exact same friend group.
Wow.
One of the girls is dating a guy. And fortunately for her roommate, she started dating his best friend.
Wow.
So we've got roommates dating best friends. They beef up all the time. They double date all the time. They go to dinner parties together, game nights. I mean, it's kind of like the breakup with Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn. They meet all the time. Like, these are their friends. Okay, so I'm going to use their names because they're never going to fucking see this. So Kenzie's boyfriend. Okay.
Just put all your shit out there. Go ahead.
Whatever. Kenzie's boyfriend breaks up with her. Mary's boyfriend stays with her because Mary actually has a nice, considerate boyfriend.
Oh.
Talk about the rift in that friendship, that female friendship. You live together. Mary can no longer discuss fun things that she does with her boyfriend and Kenzie's ex-boyfriend. There is no more relationship between those girls. And how sad is that? That kind of an ending relationship can dictate the closeness that you have with your female friends in that particular case. So whereas Rob's situation was more of like, okay, I'm dating your friend, get over it, we've been broken up for 3 years. The situation that I know of is like, y'all live together. Y'all's boyfriends were best friends, and now you're single and your best friend is still dating the guy who's best friends with the douchebag that dumped you. I mean, talk about the resentment and the rift that comes with that. And you could tell, I mean, you could cut the tension like with a knife when I was with those two girls. We were at a wine party And Mary was going on and on about Dan, her boyfriend, and you could tell Kenzie totally shut down. It was like she didn't care. It was not something on her mind.
Damn.
So now that I've explained that and kind of like the drama that comes along with it, don't do it. Avoid that completely.
Wait.
I don't care how. Yes.
Is she still with him?
Mary is still with Dan. Kenzie is still single. And Mary's... What? Go ahead.
I don't think she did anything wrong. Because... Well, you can't... They couldn't really... Well, okay. So one started dating the guy, and then the other one started dating the guy's best friend, what, shortly after, or...
Shortly after. And I feel like part of it was convenience. Like, clearly they were not good for each other. So I'm not saying they did anything wrong to start with. I'm saying you as the listener, you know, kind of like take this information, and next time that your boyfriend or girlfriend has a really hot significant other who has a friend who's also really hot, maybe think twice about dating that person as well. Because even though in the short term it's super convenient, in the long term it can not only mess up your kind of significant other relationship, but also your original friend group. You know how it was, you know what I'm saying? So it just doesn't make sense to me, and it creates this like salty, like weird atmosphere where now Mary can't tell Kenzie anything, good or bad, because all Kenzie's thinking is, well, what's my ex-boyfriend doing, and why is he the best friend still with the guy? So that's my thing. I think that dating friends within friend groups, I think that dating your best friend's boyfriend's roommate, dating your girlfriend's, or, you know, dating your buddy's girlfriend's roommate or best friend is just like a disaster.
You know,
go ahead and hook with her, but don't date her, because that just fucks everything up.
Hooking up, because hooking up doesn't.
Well, that's a whole nother thing.
It is. It's like, to me, it's a maturity level thing, man. I think guys in particular, and girls actually, we're so possessive. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want everything, and it's like, once I touch it, you can't have it. So, but I think what really messes up the circles is like, kind of like the show Friends. It makes it weird if everyone's really tight friends and then two start to date and it doesn't work out, and then one of them starts to date someone outside of the friendship circle. Then it's kind of like everyone has to choose. It's like, yo, I gotta choose between y'all. But that's very weird. That's another reason that I don't hook friends up with friends, or like any of my female friends. Oh, do you have a guy you could... Nope. Because if it doesn't work out, that's one of my... If I'm hooking you up with somebody, it's probably somebody that's close to me, because I don't really get down with a bunch of random flaky people. Like, the people I get down with are people I got love for, so they're not going nowhere.
Right.
And I don't want to put y'all in a position where it doesn't work, and then, or it ends badly, then you looking at me funny. And
or
then
she's coming to you for advice.
He's
going to you for advice, and
they
you can't.
Yeah, I'm not finna be a mediator between the two y'all. And then the other thing is, y'all might end up at one of my events or something together. Y'all might see me at the same time. So I just try to stay out of it, because I'm just afraid of the negative things that could come out of it. So
Right, because then you become collateral damage, and you have to choose when they end up breaking up. Are you going to stay friends with her, or are you going to stay friends with him? It's like, who gets you in the divorce? Going back, though, to what you said before, where it's kind of like the show Friends, where you date friends, but then you also bring in outsiders because you're dating other people that you've met through work or workouts, classes, or whatever. I almost think at this point then maybe it's just like the natural progression of a friend group. Like, maybe there really is no avoiding the inevitable.
Yeah.
There's no stopping the kind of natural attraction that happens within a friend group. And there's also nothing stopping people from bringing in outsiders into that group who they want to date. So it's kind of like a win-win, lose-lose. Maybe that's just kind of what it means to be in a friend group.
Yeah, because, I mean, here's the thing. There's nothing more beautiful on this planet than a woman. I love women. I love them. Like, and I'm very open-minded, and I'm very optimistic. So when it comes to females, it's like, I don't discount anyone. Like, I always take a hard look, like, yo, like, you might be the one. I don't know. What, you want to try? Huh? What? I don't want a stupid boundary like, oh, that's my friend, to stop me from, like, you know. I mean, cause it's funny, cause I used to work at K Jewelers. A lot of the guys, when they would come in, look at rings and stuff, they would say, that's my best friend. Like, she was my best friend, and we just knew. And it's like, you see that in movies, and you hear that from people all the time. It's like, you're supposed to marry your best friend. Keyword friend. But so many of us won't do it or won't move forward because of the word friend or because of the friendship. But it is a very scary thing, to be real, because it's like, this friendship is beautiful. If we take this friendship to the next level and it doesn't work, then what the fuck? I don't want to lose this thing over here is so precious and beautiful. I want to hold on to it forever. Or do I want to take the chance and possibly lose this beautiful thing? Or you could take a chance and it might not end so bad and you could go back to the other thing. But a lot of people don't want to take that risk. But I think you should keep an open mind and look at it. I mean, that's just me.
No, and I agree with that 100%. And I also think that maybe we're just looking at the situations that were negative. Like, maybe there are people out there who have taken that risk and kind of developed a romantic relationship with one of their best friends within a friend group, knowing the potential to ruin that friend group was there, knowing the potential to ruin that friendship was there, and they still did it and it worked out great. So I also feel like maybe we're just hearing all of the negative situations, and
nobody cares about happily ever after. Get out of here.
Exactly. And nobody is really willing to share that, because it's kind of like, well, I'm happy, I don't need to talk about it because it's a positive situation. People love to talk about the negative things. And so when it comes to dating within friend groups, maybe we're just hearing the bad stuff when really it's worth the risk. But
and here's the other thing. People act like, going back to the possession thing, people act like just because they dated someone or with someone that now that you're no longer together, they're off limits. That actually means the actual opposite. You're no longer with them, which means you don't want that, or that it's not going to work. Therefore, they need to move on to the next person, just like you need to move on to the next person. Now, if you still sour and got some feelings, I understand letting time heal the wound, but it's like, let that person move on. Like, I'm not going to speak on this too much, but because I don't know the situation, but I know that I had frat brothers who were in school before me, and there was a girl involved, and one person dated her, and then the next person dated her, and people felt like the second guy was wrong for dating her, but now they're married and they have a family. So was he wrong? He found his wife. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
that's a constant reminder in my head. You can't let boundaries like that happen. You got to look at things from a different perspective. It's like, because I've had times where people's like, yo, like, would you be mad if, I'm like, nah, dog, like, I'm not with that person for a reason, because I'm done with it. It wasn't like, now if it's a thing like, oh, we can't be together, or we broke up because she moved across the country, or we broke up because she wasn't ready for a relationship right now, then you try to go holler. Well, that's different, because there's still potential. It's still a chance for us to be together. But when it really truly ends, then, you know, regardless of my own personal feelings, I'm gonna have to let that go. You know, once I've let it go, I'll be more comfortable with that person moving on to somebody else. But, you know, you gotta know and understand when something ain't for you. Just let that thing go and let it be great. Because if you ever truly really love someone, you want them to be happy, regardless of what happened between the two of you. You still want that person to be happy, whether it's with you or somebody else.
100%. So maybe the issue is not really what we're talking about. Maybe the issue is the fact that people be crazy and they're thinking that
I almost spit my beer out. Oh my god.
And they're trying to possess something that they no longer have. It's like, people get weird. Like, oh, I've touched her, you can't touch her. I've touched him, you can't touch him. But it's like, but you didn't want him, or he didn't want you.
Let me tell you what dudes do.
Okay.
Throughout college, sitting in the cafeteria, you know what I mean, the caf, eating. Shorty walk by, damn, yo, she fine. Yeah, dog, I hit that. Okay, I didn't ask you that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and number one, I didn't ask you that. Number two, you probably lying. That's the territorial thing. So you think just because you smashed that I ain't gonna want to talk to her, or I'm not gonna want to smash too? That's
Right.
you know, it's that territorial thing. It's like you can't have them all. You can't possess them all.
Exactly. You can't have them all. It's like a dog peeing on a tree, though. It's like thousands of different dogs have peed on that tree, but
Yeah.
because you've got a dog who's a friend that's peed on that tree, you're going to be pissed?
Yeah.
No, that's not the way that it works. Like, that girl who looks fine that's passing you in the cafeteria has probably been smashed by a lot of guys, but that's not going to stop you. I'm
Right.
sorry, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know
But
what you
that's
mean.
going to stop you from trying to pursue that. And
Yep.
just because a friend was one of those people that got it in with her should not also stop you from trying to pursue her. So maybe it's just the fact that as humans, it's like we argue the fact that we're not monogamous, but then we have this like territorial monogamous mentality.
Mhm.
You can't have it both ways.
Yep, we want to have our cake and eat it too. I know there's a
Always.
lot of people out there who disagree with us. If you disagree, please comment. Please email us. She said, he said 16@gmail.com. We would love to have you on the guest show as a rebuttal. But again, we're not gonna keep y'all too long. We're at 20 minutes, so I'm gonna shut it down unless you got something else to say, Vixen.
No, I feel great about everything we talked about.
Yeah, I would just say, weigh the situation, weigh the feelings, you know what I mean? If it's a situation where you broke up and, shorty is still harping on you, still really feeling you, and it's like she want to figure it out, then I would say stay away from that, you know what I'm saying? As the friend, stay away from that, the feelings are still in there. But, once it's over, dead, gone, like dead, buried, then I say, yo, you know what I mean?
Friend group or not.
Yeah, let it be, man. Like people out here finding love like that. Like, you don't want to stop someone from, getting to that. But I digress. People are gonna be upset. People ain't gonna like this, and that's what I love. So anyway, this has been another episode of She Said, He Said. I'm your host, Rob, with my special guest, Vixen. Thank you for joining me. This is not the last time that you'll be on here because you're awesome.
Whoop whoop.
Oh, fuck.
Thanks for
All right.
having me.
We're out of here, y'all. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Peace.